Today I'm going to show you the versatility of the CO2 laser engraving system. MBF Laser happens to have two, an older generation version and a current version. I'm going to show you something on the old version which is more manual, but will show you that even though it may be an older machine, it still has all the functionality of the newer ones. It's just more manual, requires a little more work, but it also gives you a lot of control over the laser. But today what we're going to do is we're going to work on a piece of acrylic. That's a piece of clear acrylic, and what we're going to do is we're going to laser engrave some text on the acrylic, and then we're going to cut it out. And the graphic that we've chosen to show you today is this gear. So as you can see, we have some text in black, and we have the shape of the gear is outlined in red. Now the laser will understand these colors and will apply different functions based on the particular color that it sees. In this case, what we want to do is we want to use a technique called reverse engraving, where we're going to take and put the text on the back side of the acrylic, which gives a frostier and brighter finish. So we're going to take this graphic and we're going to reverse it. And now you can see all the text is reversed. The gear stays the same. The next step is to set up the laser. So we're going to take the material and we're going to place it in the laser. For this piece of acrylic, we're going to use what's called a honeycomb cutting table. And that takes and provides flow of air down past the acrylic, and it gives you a much cleaner cut. So we position the material in the laser using the upper left hand corner as the origin. This is where the laser references itself to. And what we need to do is make sure that we match the focal length of the lens. In this case we're using a 2-inch lens with the material, so that the laser focuses exactly on the front edge of the material. So we do that by using this focus tool. It's calibrated to the particular lens, and this is done by putting the laser in the Z-axis mode. What that does is allows us to take and put the lens assembly anywhere we want on the material, and then take and using this notch tool, we're going to take and raise and lower the table until we have the tool exactly set to the bottom of the lens, so that there's no play between the top of the material and the notch in the calibration tool. Right now we're probably within about 0.010 of an inch. Now we've got it perfect. The next step is to adjust the settings on the laser to match the material and the task that we want to perform. In this case, we're going to do a light laser engraving on the acrylic, followed by a full strength cut that's going to cut through the material in one pass. But what we do is open up the software, tell it that we want to print the graphic that we've selected, and what we see is a print dialog box. Now, the thing that is so unique about these lasers is that they appear to your computer just like any other printer. It could be a laser printer, inkjet printer. The system uses a print driver that makes your software thinks it's printing to a printer. So we have our M360 laser selected. I have the graphic selected, and now I'm going to go into the properties of the laser. So for this particular material, we've got two colors that we're using. We have black and we have red. The black is what we're going to use to tell the laser to engrave. So from our table of material settings that we have on hand, we've discovered that we need to set the laser power at 44%, its raster speed at 100%, we're going to use a setting of 500 laser pulses per inch, as well as a density setting of 5, which tells it to do 500 lines per inch. The next step is going to be the cut. This is the vector mode, which is identified by red. In this case, we're going to use 100% of the laser power and a very slow speed, only 3%, with 1,000 laser pulses per second. So once we know we have the laser settings correct, we select OK, make sure that we have the unit selected, we say print, the job goes to the printer. Now that we've sent the print job over to our laser, we see that it's here in the display screen. We've already set up our material at its origin. We've got the lens in focus. Before we start the job, we're going to turn on our exhaust blower. Once that's started and up and running, we press start, and the laser is going to start engraving. It's hard to see against that cutting table, but if you look closely, you see the text is being reverse engraved on the face of the acrylic. Now the laser is just about finished engraving all of the text. When it does finish, it's going to go into the vector mode and do a XY axis travel around the material. Right now it's in the vector mode. You can see it's cutting the acrylic. If you look closely, you can see the smoke that is being produced, being drawn down through the honeycomb cutting table. Being on that table, the resins that are released when the beam melts the acrylic are drawn away to keep the finish nice and smooth. As you can see, we're just about finished with the vector cut. It's coming up on the last tooth. And there, well, we gave it a second to cool, and now we're going to see our finished product. So, I'll remove the big piece of material. You can see it cleanly cut it through. Here's our gear with all the pieces cut through and the text engraved on the back. You can see how much brighter it looks when it's reverse engraved like that. So this is just one of many things that can be done with the laser, and as our motto says, distinctive laser creations, infinite possibilities.